At a party in Venice in September, 4 people overdosed from what they thought was cocaine, 3 of them dying before paramedics arrived. The cocaine they used reportedly contained fentanyl. The deaths were another example of what has taken place across the U.S. over the last few years as we have entered what I call the synthetic era of drugs, street dope made with chemicals, no plants involved. Synthetic drugs of various kinds have been around for decades, but none have come close to the supply and threat of the 2 staples now coming up from Mexico, fentanyl and methamphetamine. And with synthetic drugs, as with most other products both legal and illegal, supply shapes demand. I suspect this era will be with us for some time because synthetic drugs make huge business sense to traffickers. They no longer need land, irrigation, pesticides or farm workers to grow drugs, they can produce them in makeshift labs or industrial warehouses. With no need to plan around weather and seasons, they can make these drugs year-round, provided they have enough chemicals. Synthetic drugs are quicker to make, and in the case of fentanyl, easier to smuggle because so little of it is needed to make extraordinary profits. Key to the trafficking equation are shipping ports, which provide access to the world's chemical markets and the ingredients needed to make synthetic drugs. Combine that with the impunity Mexican traffickers enjoy, ensured by corruption in that country and the guns smuggled there from ours, and the result is potent dope in the staggering quantities we see now across the U.S. The Drug Enforcement Administration reported in September that it had already 5 million fentanyl-laced counterfeit pills so far this year, more than it had in the 2 prior years combined. Some 40% of the seized pills had deadly quantities of the drug. Mexican-made meth is so prevalent that its street price has collapsed to the lowest ever seen, typically between $1.500 and $3.000 a pound, down from roughly $10.000 and more per pound less than a decade ago. A relentless supply is a reason drug dealers mix a hyper-potent drug like fentanyl into whatever they're selling, even at the risk of killing their customers. Fentanyl has become so commonplace that dealers now use it the way we use salt on our food. They liberally sprinkle it into anything they're selling: cocaine, methamphetamine and, in some rare cases, marijuana.